What's up guys, Mickle here, and in my video last night we talked about just how much Ripple and XRP are being adopted behind the scenes by the largest institutions in the world, and you're just straight up not being told about it. Well, in this video, I want to show you something absolutely shocking that we learned last night that is going to let you know that this brand new system being created is a lot closer than you're being told. Guys, what the big institutions do is they tell you it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening, and then out of nowhere it happens. I want to show you the best example I have seen of that to date. I could not believe it when I saw this leaked. It is absolutely insane. Make sure to stick around for this whole video. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange. I'll pull down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start this video off with a clip of Brad Garlinghouse actually talking about the adoption of cryptocurrency, because I think it's so important that we always go back to the source, see what Brad is seeing, considering he's the one talking with the big institutions, he's the one talking with the banks, and get his perspective on how this adoption is taking place. Guys, I think not often enough we look back and actually listen to what these people are telling us. I think too often we judge the success of the market by what we see with our very eyes. But one of the points I've been trying to make very clear on this channel over the past couple weeks is it's hard for us to actually see the adoption of Ripple and XRP. These are not retail facing products. These are not meme coins. These are not DeFi products for you and I to play around with. What Ripple and XRP are building are institutional grade infrastructure projects that are not advertised to us. They're not used by us, and therefore it's really hard for us to actually see the adoption happening on a daily basis. Guys, I want you to listen up to this clip of Brad Garlinghouse because it's really going to let you know that the train has already left the station. The adoption is happening all over the entire world. These institutions are asking to use Ripple's products using XRP to help drive their payment flows. It's not happening in the United States yet, but that moment is coming. Listen up to this clip very closely because I think it really shows how confident Brad is that his company is on the right path in driving this change.
Ripple sales pitch for a minute. You know, we started with really our only customers were financial institutions. That's starting to expand into SMEs and corporates, and that's going to grow that opportunity. And as that opportunity grows and volumes grow, that drives liquidity. These are all good things for the XRP ecosystem, and again, I think for crypto overall. It's going to thrive, by the way. It just may not thrive as quickly in the United States. It is thriving in Dubai. It is thriving in London. It is thriving in Switzerland. So look, the opportunity, not just for Ripple, but the opportunity for the industry remains just profoundly large. And I think eventually the US will get there. If you zoom out far enough, this industry's only been around 10 or 12 years. If you zoom out far enough, I think 10 years from now, we won't be having this conversation, and the US will absolutely be one of the leaders in this space. In the meantime, the Dubais of the world are getting ahead, and I think that's fabulous. Around liquidity, around tokenization, certainly as Dan and I talked about, regulation, these are all important. And I do think it's an amazing time to be alive. We're at a crossroads for crypto and blockchain to be integrated into all of the system. And I think that the benefit of that isn't just the companies, the entrepreneurs in this room. The benefit of that are humans. And, you know, we got to step back and realize that these are technologies that will change and improve people's lives. And that's what gets me up in the morning. That's what gets me excited.
So guys, I thought that was a great video and really shows you that despite what's happening in the United States, you know, the market that we see on a daily basis, Brad is making it explicitly clear that Ripple is gaining adoption all over the entire world. Ripple is building network effects in every financial system around the globe, and eventually those network effects are going to leak into the United States. As the rest of the world upgrades their payment infrastructure, as the rest of the world upgrades their systems to real-time payments using blockchain technology, the United States is going to be forced to capitulate. The United States cannot keep lagging behind. Eventually, the United States is going to have to catch up to these other systems, or the United States is simply going to lose the lead as the financial leader of the world. Better systems are going to drive more adoption. Better systems are going to drive more volume. And as the rest of the world updates to these new systems, they are going to attract more and more of the daily financial flows. Guys, the United States cannot afford to lose this, but they will if they do not upgrade their infrastructure. The United States' financial system has been running on legacy rails that have been around for 60 to 70 years. We have watched the internet disrupt industry after industry, and the financial system is next. The way the internet is disrupting the financial services industry, disrupting the rails of the financial system, is via cryptocurrencies. Guys, that transformation is happening all around the world, and Brad Garlinghouse makes that clear in this interview. The United States is not going to be able to survive on the legacy outdated system. They are going to be forced to capitulate. They are going to be forced to update their system. So far, that hasn't happened yet to the public, but I think what I'm about to show you is it actually is happening. They just don't want you to know about this. Guys, take a look at this. This absolutely blew my mind and was leaked by Tom Emmer earlier today. For the last couple years, the Federal Reserve has been adamant that they have not started creating a central bank digital currency. The Federal Reserve has continuously said, look, we have no interest in building a CBDC. That's simply not our role. We need Congress's authority to do it. It's just not something we should really be focused on. The Federal Reserve has constantly taken the narrative that they are working on a CBDC, should be working on a CBDC, or doing anything around a CBDC and completely pushed it to the side. But what we found out yesterday is that is actually not the truth. Tom Emmer leaked something earlier today, and I'm just going to read you his tweet. He said, if you don't think the Fed is pursuing a CBDC, think again. The Fed gave this to my staff during a presentation earlier this week in Congress. They view a CBDC as one of their few key duties. Guys, right here, we see the Federal Reserve directly gave Tom Emmer's staff a presentation that said they believe a CBDC is a top priority for them. Guys, the Federal Reserve knows CBDCs are coming. They understand we are heading into a new era where essentially the legacy system is disrupted by a digital system, where new ways to move money all around the world surpass the old ways of moving the money. Cryptocurrencies are a key feature in making that happen. What company has been focused on linking CBDCs from the start? It's been Ripple. Why has Ripple been focused on that? Because every single country is now building its own CBDC. Every single country is building their own domestic payment systems. These domestic payment systems are going to have to be linked. We are going to have different networks that bridge all of these systems together, and that is where Ripple has been situated from the start. It is so important to understand that all the big financial institutions in the United States, and we talked about this yesterday, are pretending like the things we talk about on this channel on a daily basis are not in fact occurring. But whenever we dig a little deeper and actually look to what's happening, we find out that they are happening, and in fact at a rapid rate. The Federal Reserve has been saying for the last couple months they are absolutely not working on a central bank digital currency. But now we find out through actual document requests that they believe it's one of their top priorities to be building a CBDC. Guys, CBDCs will usher in a cryptocurrency dominant system. CBDCs are the start of the tokenization of currency, the tokenization of real world assets, and that is going to make digital currencies like XRP exponentially more important in the world. We are watching a transformation from the old system to the new one, and they want it to be hidden behind the scenes. They don't want you to see this change happening, because as I have been saying on this channel for a while now, this was one of the first times in history you were actually able to front run the disruption. It was one of the few times in history you were able to invest in the disruption before it was released to the public. And almost every single time prior, these big institutions have essentially used their power to gatekeep the innovation. They have said, oh, well, you can only invest in this if you're an accredited investor, so therefore you can't invest in this. We can talk about this freely. But cryptocurrencies are different. We were able to invest in and build out positions in these things while the central banks and while the big institutions were still building it into their infrastructure. That's why they can't talk about it. That's why they can't let you know what they're working on. That is why Ripple has thousands of NDAs signed with organizations all over the world. They understand what's coming. They understand the disruption. They understand that the system we're moving into is being disrupted by the internet, just like all the other industries on Earth. Guys, it has never been more clear to me that Ripple's strategy since day one has always been the right strategy. Work with the traditional financial institutions, help them upgrade their infrastructure, and help them build out their next generation products on the XRP ledger. Ripple has always had the right idea. These big institutions were never going to give away their power. These big institutions were never going to give away the value they hold in their accounts. But what Ripple could do was actually work with these institutions to help them build out products to be competitive in this next generation financial system. We are getting to the point where these traditional firms do not have a choice. It is either get left behind or adopt the new rails. Ripple is working with them to adopt the new rails behind the scenes. Ripple knows that what is being built behind the scenes is the system that we talk about on this channel on a daily basis. Brad Garlinghouse made it explicitly clear in the video I showed you earlier today. These changes are happening in real time. They are happening all around the world, and the United States is going to be forced to capitulate. Ripple is at the center of all of it. They are the leader in everything we are watching. Guys, it's only a matter of time. The innovation is here. The disruption is happening. The institutions are currently adopting. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.